Carmen Sintrup was the type of person who, if I didn't show up to lunch, would be the first person to text me and ask me if I was okay. But on February 14th, when I texted Carmen to see if she was okay, I didn't get a response. Little did I know that I never would. On February 20th, instead of buying cupcakes for her 17th birthday, which would have been the next day, I went to Carmen Sentrup's funeral. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School mass shooting survivor. Carmen Sintrup was not. Remember her name. Remember the 17. For today, I come to you as anonymous because this is not my fight alone. It's all of ours. But let's call the situation with what it really is, a preventable mass murder. Blood was spilled in our classrooms for nothing. A mentally ill 19-year-old legally got an AR-15 with bump stocks, a gun capable of shooting 45 to 60 rounds per minute into my school. He murdered 17 classmates, injured 17 more, and changed the lives of 3,000 forever. But we 3,000 will not go unheard. We want change, and we want it now. No more assault rifles, no more high-capacity magazines. We want background checks, we want safety. Not just for Florida, but for the entire world. Not just my high school, but in every community, neighborhood, church, club, and concert. The Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School Public Safety Act is a positive start, but this fight is far from over. This act is just a confirmation that change is possible. Because raising the age wouldn't have stopped many of those shootings. My high school shouldn't feel like a high-security prison. There's so much more to be addressed, so let's keep going. The longer we wait, the more lives we lose. There have already been at least 7,000 children murdered since 2012. So to those of you who say it's too soon, I say we're too late. We were supposed to be the last shooting, but there were shootings after Douglas. We were too late for the Pulse nightclub, too late for Las Vegas, for Virginia Tech, for Sandy Hook, for Columbine, and for Marjory Stoneman Douglas High. To those of you who say we're too emotional, hell yeah, we are.
Yes.
Your cameras don't see the survivor's guilt and they don't see the tears. My friend was shot 4 times. Our prom dates became pallbearers. Our friends were murdered in front of us and our innocence has been taken. We are righteously angry, but that is why our movement is still going. To those of you who say that enforcing a law with stricter gun control wouldn't change anything because people would just break the law, why do we have to make it easy for them? Let them struggle. Let them be named criminals instead of having an easy way in. To those of you who say guns aren't the issue, sure, it wasn't the only part, but there's no denying it was a large factor. This damage couldn't have been done with a weapon of less caliber. There is no reason for anyone to own an AR-15. And I get it, your Second Amendment. But I'm not here to take away all of your guns, but these assault rifles, do not belong on the streets of the everyday world. They do not belong in my high school. And to those of you who say we're too young, if we are old enough to be shot at, we are old enough to have a voice. Stoneman Douglas has 766 12th graders ready to vote, and alumni and teachers and future generations who will forever remember. We kids will be the future of tomorrow. We Tide Pod eaters are the voices of tomorrow. We are the leaders of tomorrow. But we can't do it alone. Take one look around you. Take a look at the support we have gathered today. This is what it felt like for me at the candlelight vigil at Parkland, where we mourned the 17 we lost. This is what community looks like. This is what strength looks like. Together, we can do anything. As I'm standing here in this freezing Canadian weather, I will assume that most of you probably won't be in the American elections, but that doesn't mean that you cannot make a difference. You're out here toughing this cold with me because you care. Vote so that this doesn't happen to your kids. Sign the petitions against violence. Speak out for what is right. Protest until you can't protest anymore. Whatever you can do in your power, you do it. Because together, we take one more step. Today, we take one more step towards a safe future. We take one more step towards gun reform. We take one more step for those who no longer can, and we take one more step in the march for our lives. And if I could have my music, please. We're gonna pretend there's elevator music in the background right now. So this is for the criminals who have taken from us, to the politicians that have given us empty apologies, and this is the story of 3,300 warriors created and 17 we lost. This is a story that I have never told. I gotta get this off my chest to let it go. I've gotta take back the light inside you stole. You're a criminal, and you shoot like you're a pro. All the pain and the truth, I wear like a battle wound. So ashamed and confused, I was broken and bruised. Now I'm a warrior. Thicker skin, I'm a warrior. I'm stronger than I've ever been, and my armor is made of steel. You can't get in, I'm a warrior, and you can never hurt me again. Out of the ashes, I'm burning like a fire. You can keep your apologies, you're nothing but a liar. I've got shame, I've got scars that I will never know. I'm a survivor in more ways than you know. All the pain and the truth, I wear like a battle wound. So ashamed and confused, I'm not broken or bruised. Now I'm a warrior. Now I've got thicker skin. I'm a warrior. I'm stronger than I've ever been, and my armor is made of steel. You can't get in, I'm a warrior, and you can never hurt me. There's a part of me I can't get back. A little girl grew up too fast. All it took was one time, I'll never be the same. So I'm taking back my life today. There's nothing left that you can say. You were never gonna take the blame anyway. Now I'm a warrior. Now I've got thicker skin. I'm a warrior. I'm stronger than I've ever been, and my armor is made of steel. You can't get in, I'm a warrior, and you can never hurt me again. No. You can never hurt me begin.